it's time to say goodbye to Planet Zoo and its franchise mode. No, I'm not gonna say goodbye to Planet Zoo in general, but I will end my franchise Zoo /S. I have multiple ones technically running. They are not all finished, but I will show you 3 of them in today's video, which are all going to be in the workshop right off the video, like right now. You can grab them yourself, and I'm going to run a little bit of a competition. So if you're in my Discord, there will be a dedicated channel for that created today, in which you can drop some stuff in. I'm gonna explain later in today's video what the giveaway or what the what the competition is and what you can win, and that's something I'm gonna explain over there at the end. But first of all, let's have a little look at Lago Tropicana, my recent project, I gotta say. And this one, it's great, I will give you a bit of a reasoning why I'm stopping the franchise mode in general in the next part, where we are going to go back to Tiny Zoo. Actually, it's going to be fun. But let's first of all look at this one. I feel like this zoo is pretty decent as it is. This is really like the last one we did with the Pygmy Hippo, and some of the stuff we got with the latest updates. Really in love with how this whole thing works, and really in love how everything. Oh my god, look at that one. That looks disgusting. But yeah, so there's really not that much to say. We're going to just quickly fly over. So we've got a Pygmy Hippo in here. No one really makes the way here. I think they're not really too interested in that one. This one is for the river otter. I'm quite happy with the layout of the habitat, but there are a couple of things I'm not really they are not really too beautiful. There's a couple of things I would have loved to change. We have a couple of bins here for whatever reason, and then we still have this insanely broken entrance area with a lot of issues. That is down to the capuchin monkey habitat not functioning as it should. They can still escape for whatever reason. I still was not able to figure out exactly why. It is a pain, I'm gonna say. It's really a pain. I can't find it. But yeah, then we have our big mixed habitat with the siamangs, the orangutans, and also our friends the Malayan tapirs. Are that's really nice. Look at how this one sits. That was just lying down. Yeah, really love the idea that we have them all in one habitat. It's not the most beautiful one, and this thing is still broken. I can't recolor this. This is so fun. I still can't do it. I can recolor this in here, obviously. Now I can just give it a different color, and then things are resetting, which I don't really understand. And as soon as we would load this again, it's gonna be yellow again. Really no idea why. And fun stuff, I can also not do undo and redo with this thing. That doesn't work either. It's so broken. It's kind of the weirdest bug ever. You can't change this, and it just doesn't work. But it doesn't matter. As soon as I save it and go somewhere else, it's gonna be yellow again. Not sure if that was because it was in the beta where it was broken and they fixed it afterwards. I have no idea, but it's just beyond repair. And then we've got our wonderful butterfly gardens with the the gibbons in here, the La gibbons, and also some other exhibit animals and habitat animals. Really cool stuff with the tortoises over here. I kind of love this. I love the fact how they just run across here. Yet again, I have to say, I wish they would just do the brachiation more often and just use it as to go from A to B. They do it way more often in real life, so I'm a bit like, just up the value of when they are going to do the hanging and when they do the normal running, because they just do the running way too often. But again, these animals seem to be way too famous, and this is always super cramped. I was hoping that all of these animals together are not famous enough or not, interesting enough to make this a rather quiet garden, but it's not. It's a very cramped one, so these animals are always stressed out. So yeah, it's really not the best. It's really not the best. But oh, look at that, we got a white one. Didn't see that one. Or maybe I even bought it. Maybe I forgot about this. But that's already it. So we don't really have more than that in Lago Tropicana. So not that many habitats. I think it's time to go into another one. And this is going to be Tiny Zoo. And the last one is going to be a bit of a surprise. So the last one is going to be special because there is something I'm going to tell you. This is going to be fun. But now let's go in Tiny Zoo first of all. Alright, we are as promised in Tiny Zoo, and if you remember, this one was a zoo in which I basically set myself for the challenge to only build on a prefab raster of path layout. So we did a path layout at the beginning, and this was our only path that we were able to use. I only changed a couple of little things to make things adjusted, but other than that, we had to work with the existing pathway, and I think we really made the best out of it. This is potentially one of my best zoos I have done for franchise, even though I wanted to go with more small animals, but I slowly and then more quickly diverged into making, well, randomly different animals. So we have got camels in here. We even have like the, you know, among the biggest animals with giraffes and elephants. So yeah, I did not really stick true to at least the size of the animals, but the habitat sizes are relatively small. So I needed to ensure that everything was made possible for the animals in their dedicated, you know, enclosure, whilst those being super small. And then everything just kind of runs rather well in the zoo. So if we have a look, you can see there are not really that many mistakes mentioned. We've got some animals dying out of old age, but overall animals should do rather well. Yeah, there you can see even the worst is like this. Someone escaped over here, I guess. But yeah, this is just a little mistake that happens all the time here with the camels, because they can pass over and they are just meant to be free in the moment. I don't know what exactly this is, but yeah, there were a couple of highlights on this project, I gotta say. So the lion habitat definitely is one of the highlights with this overpath over here, which I am still such a big fan of. It still looks really, really fun. Yeah, especially with the mod, obviously, it looks a lot better. But the overpass was always something that I'm super, super proud of, because that one, you know, it just works and it looks good and it just kind of makes sense for the lions. And yeah, it's really good, even though it's not really up to the standard that you might usually see. I like that we have this kind of greenhouse-ish thingy that, you know, has this overlook here with the balcony to the lions. And also this one over here, the penguin habitat, also turned out really beautiful, really looking good. Still some stinky stuff. I still have two little you know, workers over here. I think it's really the keepers not doing their best jobs in this one. Yeah, I've got the koalas in this habitat. There's one passing over here. Look at that. Phenomenal. I love it. So yeah, really, really lovely stuff. And then, yeah, there's, again, not that much more to say. The entrance is something we did at the end, and I'm still happy with the design. It's rather simple, but it looks good, and I'm really, really happy. So that's kind of cool. So let's quickly have a look what kind of animals we have in here. We've got the warthogs over here. We've got the meerkats. We've got, this one is empty. I think this was down to the fennec foxes. Yeah, but they're not in there. They all died. We've got the camels. We've got the snow leopard in that awfully greenhouse over here that was meant to be made greener. I know it's the red pandas, by the way. Just to have a little hint to lady. But yeah, so these lovely little cutie pies are in there. Then we've got the Africas with some pronghorns in here. We've got the crocodiles. I'm not sure which one that is, to be honest. I think that's a normal saltwater crocodile. We've got the prairie dogs with these kind of cool bubbles in which people could technically have a look at, but they don't really go there to have a look at, because I think technically they can't see it. I still like the idea. It's really a fun idea. Then we've got the little house in here, nice. We've got the seal habitat, which is still beyond broken, or is it the sea lions actually? Because again, over here they are beamed somewhat onto the path every now and then. Not sure what that is. I hope that was going to be fixed, but it's not. And then we've got this mixed African habitat. We're like, oh, look at that little one. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Hello, my little friend. Little tiny elephant. This is, by the way, my little daughter. She always wants to see this one because she's so much in love with tiny elephants, and she's now a plushie of a baby elephant. It's the best ever. She always wants to see that. We've got the lions, as said, over here. We've got some lemurs passing over, the ring-tailed ones in here. I think they share their habitat with other ones. I think with the right ruffed ones. Is that correct or is that not correct? I'm not even sure. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I forgot. Then we've got, as I said, the African penguin. We've got the koala. We also have got the kangaroo over here. Or is it the wallaby? I'm not sure. So that's a kangaroo actually. So yeah, that's that. I think, did I miss out on anyone? I think this is it. Oh no, there's like an art walk in the middle as well. And we've got some exhibits just to make sure that we make some money. But that is about it, I guess. So yeah, let's skip to the last one. And this one is going to be a bit of a surprise. And we are in Oak Street City Zoo, one of my oldest and earliest franchise zoos. And maybe the one single zoo that deserved a lot more attention and actually received only a fraction of what it deserved. So this one is a special. I said so at the beginning, and here's why. This one is going to receive a makeover. This is what you guys also said in on the live stream, and this one is going to be actually redone, repurposed, whatever you want to say, but this one is going to become a bit more of a sandbox project. So it's not going to be a typical sandbox project as I did them many times. This is going to be a community sandbox project, something I have never done before. I'm going to put like a little text in the Discord later, so there will be two new threads. So the first one will be the competition, and the other one will be the Oak Street Zoo kind of community makeover. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to release this park as well, and I'm going to give this to you guys so that you have an idea where to find certain things in here, and so you can actually give me tasks as a makeover. So I will then take the tasks from the makeover. You guys can also put in blueprints for that, and then I will do the makeover, including your blueprints. And you can also take part if you're not in the Discord, by the way. You can just send things to my email, but to be honest, it would be way more easy to do this with Discord. So that's gonna be that. Also, a little note about the membership. I recently did a little poll, and you guys came up with some cool answers. And just as a little hint, if you are into some very, very long tutorials, I will do exactly this. I'm gonna start with a long, in-depth pathing tutorial, and then I'm going to give you other building tutorials as well. They will be done as a short version or as a long version, and if you become member of the channel, you'll be able to have access to the long versions. And I'm gonna do more and more long versions over the course of time, so you guys gonna get the best you can have, because many people actually ask for that. So with that out of the way, let's have a little look about in this. Actually, oh gosh, it's such a good zoo. I remember that we used a lot of blueprints from you guys, so most of the things you see in here are not even made by me. So this one, for example, over here, I think this was even made by Haribo. I'm not even sure exactly who made what anymore, so I'm very sorry about this. I should have named these things by the names. The Australian house, still something I really love, something that really deserves too little attention. At the time, this zoo was not really running particularly well as a series anymore, but we have so many cool things. Like, look at that kangaroo thing over here. This is like kind of a custom enrichment items for them to do some boxing and stuff. Really love this still. I love how this is a fun little, you know, habitat in which we've got the kangaroos in the middle and stuff to the outside. So really digging this as well. Love it to bits, honestly. It's really, really good. So yeah, that's a really good little habitat in here in which we can yeah, just enjoy the view, enjoy the, actually it's not habitat, it's a house, by the way, but we can enjoy everything in here. And what I particularly love about this zoo is that it is a European city zoo style, something I have not done as a sandbox thing at all. And you can also tell from the zoo that this center bit over here, and including the Australian house, the Australia house, is already pretty decent. It has some really, really decent habitats. It has some really decent layouts in general, and a lot of detail as well. Whilst when we go over here to Asia, it's still somewhat okay-ish, but then as we go further to the left-hand side over here, it's becoming obvious that my attention to detail actually started to lack a little, especially in this back area. I'm not even sure what exactly this weirdness over here is. I think this is something I built at the very end while deciding to end this project. So there's a lot that needs to receive some more love, especially like stuff like this. It's such a bare bone habitat. Really, I like the idea though over here, but it's not really fully fleshed out. Some of the buildings you guys provided me with are super lovely, and I would love to continue this in a sandbox way so that I have time to really focus on that. I mean, look at this one over here. This is really not fitting. It could be made fitting, but this is not fitting at the moment. This was when we discovered the trick how to get rid of the you know, land in between, and then we didn't have diving animals at that time, so I made this with the hippos because that was the closest to have. So this is a zoo that did not have a single animal that can dive, which is fun. You can see how old this actually is. Really fun story. So yeah, but there's still some space, and I think it's the best zoo to do the makeover. As I said, it's a goodbye to franchise, and it's upon me now to give you a little explanation to why, and I'm gonna be very honest with you. So the first thing is that franchise zoos usually don't really do that well on YouTube. Episode 1 usually does pretty amazing, and then after a couple of episodes people are not really interested anymore, and especially for me I can pinpoint down to why that is. See, the point with franchise is that obviously you want to make the zoo working, you need to make money, and for me it's always a little fight between making the zoo run well and also do some good designs, and I always end up focusing on the run well thing and making it a bit more rushed to finish a habitat, to have like one entire thing per episode, for example, and then just make sure that it's not too long, because franchise also is something I do in real time. And so I started to cut in some time lapses and stuff like that, but it's not really the same. See, it's not really the same, and I'm really a little bit split, because I don't really like the quality of the franchise zoos, full stop. They are good, and I know that a lot of people are still like, oh yeah, it's good, but it's not my level that I would call good. And I don't want this anymore. I just want to focus on making stuff nice. And so if that means we have less content but better content, I think it's fine. It should be fine by you, it's definitely fine by me. And I just don't want to feel the rush anymore to finish a habitat in franchise mode, like in real time, because I'm doing the voiceover or whatnot. It just doesn't work. It always ends up being not the level you deserve, not the level I deserve, and this is what happens, you know, stuff ends up unfinished, because over here, for example, we did what we needed to do. The habitat works, you know, it works, and then we end because, or I end because it just kind of is not required anymore for the sake of franchise. So I always got away with this excuse for myself, and I just want to avoid that, you know. That's the sole reason why I do not want to have this. And also, in all honesty, I want to also balance out my content a little, and surely there is City Skylines 2 on the horizon, and I want to test some other stuff as well. I want to get back into more creative projects for Planet Zoo, as we will do in tonight's live stream. You're gonna be excited for that one. If you're in the Discord, you already know. If you're not, you will know in today's live stream. It's gonna be very fun. It's gonna be a movie habitat, maybe a bit more of a surprising one, but this is going to be really fun. With that said, guys, I'm gonna put this on the workshop now. I'm gonna render the video, and it's gonna be out there for you today. Let's plop that. Boom, there you go. So, hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did enjoy, and if you want to follow the makeover of this one, you better subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And in any case, you can also check the link in the description for my Twitch to be reminded whenever I go live, and also check the instant gaming link. There are some good discounts this weekend coming in, so maybe you want to check this out as well. Thank you so much for your attention as always, and have a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you so much, stay safe, and goodbye.